Of inevitability, it literally has said the shale gas army is here and resistance is futile. That is a direct quote from the gas industry. So for environmental organizations to buy that line and to, as their starting point, to accept that Illinois will be turned inside out, to accept that our land will become the factory floor for this industry that knows no bounds, no zoning, is exempt from federal law, and there's nothing we can do about it except put a filter on the cigarette, is the worst kind of protection that we could have, because it's false protection. It offers us false reassurance. And it makes the job of the people I'm here to praise even harder. So my other task today is a far more fun and loving one. I'm here to heap praise and support on the good folks of Illinois People's Action and SAFE, who are the abolitionists in the 21st century state of Illinois. They represent the spirit of Abraham Lincoln here. You might remember in the 1830s when we thought, as the free state of Illinois, there was nothing we could do about slavery going on all around us. There was the Missouri Compromise. We could keep, our state free, but we couldn't. We were just going to regulate slavery. We were going to have controlled slavery, state-of-the-art slavery. And there were people in Illinois that said, absolutely not. It's a homicidal abomination. Not only will it not happen in Illinois, it can't happen anywhere. We will run underground railroads, and there are secret rooms in all the houses in McLean County from here all the way to the Canadian border for the brave people who did that. My own son, New Yorker through and through, is named for one of them, Elijah Lovejoy from Alton, Illinois, who said, is there not a spirit of freedom still in Illinois? Will no one come up to the rescue? Well, here we are. We're about to be colonized and enslaved by another ruinous industry that will keep us dependent upon fossil fuels and entrench our dependency, threatening the environment, the water, the air of this great state, and of course the public health of the people in it. And there are people who are willing to come up to the rescue. And there are these amazing groups here in the room, Illinois People's Action and SAFE. And so you have all of my admiration. I'm just really honored to be in your presence. So I'm going to speak very quickly out of a few other of my identities. As an Illinois native, this was my home for the first 22 years of my life. And it didn't begin auspiciously. It began when I was surrendered for adoption and became a ward of the state. And it became the job of the state of Illinois, and I was right down the road in the baby fold. That's where I lived for the first few months of my life. It was a job of the state government to find me a family to live in, because that's their job. That's what governments do, is to protect people against things that they can't protect themselves against. So when you have a child abandoned in a hospital, then that's the job of the government. The state of Illinois did a fantastic job. They found me the best family in the whole world to be raised in. And there's my mom, right there. Thanks, Mom. And my dad, who set me on the path, and I will always bear my father's name, Steingraber, very proudly. On the other hand, the state of Illinois did something that wasn't so great, which is that they hid all of the identities of adoptees, making our birth certificates and our knowledge about our past an official state secret, so that I had to make very difficult medical decisions as a cancer patient in the absence of any knowledge, including things like having my ovaries out, not knowing whether that was a good or bad decision. So the point is that keeping secrets is never good public health policy, and the state of Illinois has realized that and now has opened the records for adopted people. So I now have access to all those things that I once didn't, and my life is better for it. If Illinois moves forward with fracking, it will once again enter into trade secrets and hidden information so that people's lives and their very medical histories become dependent on data that somebody holds that has to do intimately with your life, and they won't share it with you. And the regulations as they are written allow for those kind of trade secrets. We can never keep those kind of secrets when we're trying to do good public health policy. It's just absolutely unacceptable, and it won't stand. The other thing I learned as an Illinois native was right down here, right down the street. I used to walk here all the time, at Illinois Wesleyan. That's where I became a biologist. And what I learned about biology is that you have to do it before you make environmental or health policy. You have to know where the data lie and what they say. And here we have a regulatory bill where there has been no science that has been done. We don't know how much radiation is in the flowback water, and we're not even going to measure it. We don't know how the New Madrid fault lines might be affected should we frack them or have deep well injection. We don't know what the health effects of people are when we mine silica sand, which is the actual agent of fracking. That's what holds the cracks open to allow the gas to come out. We have silica sand formations all up and down the Illinois River. They are already waiting to be turned inside out. Same with all the sandstone deposits in Missouri. They're already being leased up. We have never exposed the general population to massive amounts of silica dust. We know it's a carcinogen in workers. We know it causes silicosis. What will it do to 4-year-olds? What will it do to pregnant women? Don't you want the answers to those questions before you would greenlight this industry? So that's what we have done in New York, is we have successfully argued that before we move forward with this, we need a moratorium. We need our finger firmly pushed on the pause button to give scientists the time to do the environmental studies, which have not been done in Illinois, and to do the public health studies, which have not been done in Illinois. And we're not done yet in New York. We have sent those studies back to the drawing board over and over and over again, because when lives are at stake, you want the best possible science, you want the most comprehensive science, and we're not going to give up in New York until we get there. Then I went on to graduate school, further down the road in Normal, and that's where I learned to be a writer. So what I learned about writing is that you need imagery, and you need to be able to tell the truth of that imagery. Or you can kind of tell lies with imagery. But when you say things like that gas is a bridge to the future, then where is that bridge leading, right? Maybe natural gas is more like a plank that we walk at the point of a sword. The pirates are not our friends in that scenario. So choosing the right metaphors and the right imagery helps us see the data that are available. So this offers me then a chance to heap praise on my friend, Josh Fox, who has created an amazing story with language and imagery, which helps us understand the dangers of fracking in a way that the science alone, the data are all there, but you need to assemble the data into a kind of story that people can hear and people can see. Because we need to think about this not only as data, but also as an ethical and moral issue, and stories do that very, very well. So thank you to everyone here who are standing up for the people of New York. I would be very proud for my state to offer the same protection for the children and babies of Illinois that they can't offer themselves, in the same way in 1959 that I was saved from a very bad fate and given a chance. And that's what everyone in Illinois deserves. And I stand with you for as long as it takes for us to get there. Thanks.